Welcome to this week's edition of Black Authors Matter TV, where we interview the latest movers and shakers in the African American literary community. You'll meet some old friends, discover new ones, and stay abreast of the latest book developments around the country and even the world. So sit back and relax for the next 2 hours with Black Authors Matter TV co-hosts Gwen Richardson and Dr. Rhonda Lawson.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 5th anniversary edition of Black Authors Matter TV. That's right. Today is our 5th anniversary. This show has been online for 5 years. Every Tuesday, with only a few exceptions, we have been online bringing you all of the latest books and authors and everything about the literary community. And I'm Gwen Richardson, your host for tonight, along with my co-host who went off camera. And I don't know where she did the background. Okay, all right. Now I get it. Okay, so Rhonda, why don't you say something to our guests for tonight?
Yeah, well, it's amazing. 5 years. We have interviewed so many authors. We have become the podcast of choice for so many people, and I'm just excited to be a part of this. So congratulations to you, Gwen, for just being the whole inspiration behind this and making this your brainchild and just moving forward with it. This is going to be a great night.
Yeah, we're going to have a different show tonight. We're bringing on guests from year number 1, and we're bringing them on in groups. So that'll be exciting to see what their thoughts are from being on the early shows and how far things have come. But the 5 years went by like that. I mean, I can't believe it's been 5 years, but I had no idea that it would have this kind of longevity. I didn't know what actually would occur, but we kept going, we kept improving it, we kept refining it. We have our award show every year, and it's great. And we get the books exposed the early days and weeks when they get released. So authors tell us it helps their book sales. So that's a great thing. So we're going to bring on camera some of the guests, and these are some people you may know or may not know. While we're bringing them on, we're going to have some interactive conversations and feedback from the audience. So first, for those who are already tuned in, tell us what city and state you're joining us from. We like to know how everybody's represented, and what regions of the country are represented. But we're bringing on 5 of our guests from year 1, and each half hour we're going to bring on different people. So we decided to invite people that were on in year 1, and tonight we have JJ Winston, Janice Kearney, Lolita Allen, Joylyn Ross, and Mary Monroe, all of whom are authors except Lolita Allen, who's a book club president. And so welcome back to Black Authors Matter TV, and welcome to our 5th anniversary show.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, and thank you for inviting us back.
Congratulations, Gwen.
Happy anniversary.
So I'd like each of you all just to give like a 1-minute wrap up in terms of your first interview when you were on, and just how have you been able to watch the show? I know Joylyn and Mary have been on every year, I think, because every year there's something new. But we'll start at the top. JJ Winston, you were on that first year, and what have you been doing since then?
I got a new book.
Okay.
It just came out. I'll be in touch.
Okay.
So I can be on. It's the 3rd book in my series. I'm done with it. I'm very pleased. I'm very happy. It was really hard work. It was also wonderful being on your show. So I'm so glad that you invited me back. I am from Cleveland, Ohio. That's where I hail from. But right now I'm in Miami on vacation.
Okay, scared of you?
Live it up and have a good time.
Absolutely.
right
It's
now.
raining here though now. I could have stayed home for rain. But you know,
Okay.
Yeah, but it probably won't be a long rain.
I'm
You know.
leaving in the morning. But I'm
Yeah.
so pleased to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay. And Janice Kearney, you go next.
Hi, everybody. Janice F. Kearney from Little Rock, Arkansas. And when I first came on, I think I was writing a murder mystery. And my last book that I wrote, I think I may have been back on with my book on Mahalia Jackson,
Yes,
Only
you
on
are.
Sundays. That was my last book, but I am working on a new book and no title yet, but it is a historical fiction centered around the history of midwifery. And it starts from slavery days and comes into the contemporary women workers or doulas and women who are working with women having babies.
Wow. Okay. That's an interesting topic. Joylyn, go next because I wanted to do Lolita last since she's a book club president.
All right. Congrats again. Thank you so much for having me back. I think I was actually on the first episode.
You were.
Yes.
You were.
I mean, I love coming on. It's such an honor. But I come on as both the teacher and the student. I call these master classes. There is no excuse for folks not to get it right when it comes to this literary industry because you all have the master classes that are free. And then you got the nerve to have the National Black Book Festival every October that is free. So you are here giving access, giving a voice. And for me to be able to be a part of that is so humbling. And everybody who knows me knows I don't really like humble pie all that much. But this humbles me. So thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Rhonda. Your commitment, your dedication, the time, the support to Black authors. You are putting action to your words. You are showing that we matter. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I will say this just before we jump over to Mary. What you said is so correct. Black authors matter, and we have to create a platform such as this one that shows Black authors that they matter.
Absolutely.
Give the red carpet treatment. So, and show them that their book is actually making a difference. So that's what I really love about hosting the show, the different people we get to meet and interview and the things that we take from them. There's so many things I've learned about the literary industry just from the people on this show. And many of you right here on the show right now, I have taken away so much from. So I want to thank all of you.
Yeah, it's been very educational. Well, for me too. I've learned a lot. And Rhonda and I have both published books since being on the show. So multiples. So it's helped us from that perspective too. So Mary Monroe.
Yes, ma'am.
You were recently with your last book or your latest book.
Latest, okay.
And, so tell us about your experiences being on it, because you've been on the show every year, I think, because you had the 5-part series. And
6-part.
Is it 6?
Yes.
Oh, but 6 hasn't come out yet. Okay, all right. All right. You didn't.
I'm still mad at Mary about them twins. We're gonna have to talk a little bit.
Okay.
The
You leave the
twins were
twins alone.
off the chain.
Well, I am, I don't care what anybody else says about, we don't get the kind of recognition we deserve. We get it from the people that matter. Black authors matter, other Black authors, and so on and so forth. And one thing I can say about Black authors matter is that with me, Gwen has been so consistent. I do a lot of interviews over the 20 some years that have been published. But when Gwen started interviewing me, when nobody else was, and I was waiting, is so and so going to interview me? Am I going to hear from Essence or whatever? I could always count on Gwen. And I can tell you, she always jumped in there before my book was even released. And can we have an interview with blah, blah, blah. I wasn't even worried about Gwen because Gwen was always there for me. And I will always be there for Black Authors Matter when everybody else has deserted us. And that could happen, especially in the world we're living in today. Okay, things could disappear overnight. But I don't think that is, as long as we stick together and support each other, we will always be around, supporting each other and telling our stories. Might be the same story because some people say, oh, well, Black authors always tell the same stories. I need a man or I need this or I need that. But no, that's true and it's not true. There are only so many stories that can be told. But the thing about telling the story is telling it in your voice or in your own words. Or you can tell Romeo and Juliet 40 or 50 different ways, but it's still Romeo and Juliet. And with our stories, but we're not all beaten down and slaves and this and that. We're having some fun too, especially my characters. They can get in there and act a fool, but they're going to always have some fun. And I just like the fact that when I'm talking with Gwen, I feel so at home. I tell you, it's like I'm coming home talking to a friend I've known for years and years and years. And the support that I have received from Black Authors Matter is just so important to me. This is my Academy Award. And got a new book coming out in March. So I'll be hearing from Gwen about a month ahead of time. And that's fine. She can call me anytime.
I'm going to have a book 6. As a matter of fact, my church book club read your Mrs. Wiggins.
Yeah.
As I recommended it because a church book club is different from a secular book club.
Yes, I know.
They enjoyed it, and then I told them to keep reading part 2. So some of them picked right up with part 2. So that was recent. That was our last meeting. What month are we in? July. That was our June meeting. We read.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, this happened.
Thank them for me.
Okay, and check your mail if you haven't already.
Yeah, email. Well, I just checked mine before I logged in.
Okay, well, something is either en route to you. It said it was delivered, but check.
Okay. Oh, okay. I will check as soon as later.
Check your mailbox now. Check your mailbox. Don't be like me. Go a whole week without checking your mailbox.
Oh, I check mine every day, several times a day.
Okay.
And it's especially important to check your spam folders because over the years I have missed out on really important emails because I wasn't familiar with how the spam thing worked. Because no matter how you set it up, they're still going to put some legitimate emails in the spam folder. So I always check my regular email and my spam folders because I don't want to miss anything important.
Now this is snail mail that I'm talking about.
Huh?
On the post through the post office.
Oh, okay. I will check that.
Yeah, that's a package.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, I will let you know.
So that's what Rhonda was talking about, not her email. She was talking about her mail because most of it's junk. And so that's the snail mail, unless you get a package. So, Lolita, tell us about the Divas in Dallas. It's Dallas, right?
Dallas, Texas.
Okay. And the Divas Read Too.
Divas Read Too Book Club, Dallas, Texas.
And what's been going on with the Divas?
The Divas are currently in their off season. We're a seasonal book club, October through March. So we're in our off season right now, getting ready for our 24th season. We're preparing to celebrate our 25th next year with something nice. I don't know yet. But I want to say congratulations to you guys. Black authors definitely matter. We have been around for a while, planning multiple events, such as the citywide book club meeting. We've had Dinner with the Divas for the past couple of years. So we're just starting to get back into some literary events. You know, COVID kind of slowed us down some, but we're looking forward to jumping back in it and, doing some more events. But I want to say, since we are talking about authors and the authors that are on today, this is something for you guys. We are in the process of book nominations. So if you have a book that you would like to be nominated, because we're in the month of nominate, we give authors a chance in the month of July to nominate their books to us for our reading selection. So if you want to possibly get your book nominated and we'll vote on it, you can send it to divasread@yahoo.com.
Okay, so they don't have to send the physical book. They can
No,
just
you don't have to send the physical book. Just send the title of the book along with the synopsis.
okay.
What was that address again?
It's Divas, Divas, read@yahoo.com.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm sorry. Is there like a website where
That's the email address.
they can find
That's
out
our
the
email
guidelines
address.
and so?
Yeah, the guidelines are just submit your book with the title and the synopsis. We'll grab all of the books and then we'll start voting on our books in September.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Do you have
the
a
deadline for that,
I'm putting it in the chat.
yeah, the deadline for that is July 31st for the authors.
July 31st.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so for those people out
Can you
there,
repeat the website?
It's the email address, divas, D's and dog, IVAS, read@yahoo.com. Divasread@yahoo.com.
Got it.
Okay.
right. And those who are watching, if you could let us know where you are watching us from, the city and state, and just put it in the chat so we know where everybody's located. So the people around the that are on with us, what would you say is your greatest memory or your most substantial memory from being on the show when you had your interview? Like, what did something stand out in the conversation that we had with you when you were on the show?
What stands out with me is my memory is not what it used to be. and you had asked me about some things that I didn't even remember right.
Right. I can't remember.
Don't take a second or two. I mean, when you're writing so much, like most of us, or every day, there's so much going on in our heads. It's easy to, oh, did I write that? Oh, I don't remember that. But it doesn't take much to bring us back down. And when I was talking, and she'll bring up something, and I go, oh Lord, I don't remember that. But I do remember it after we get to talking. And so that's one of my most memorable moments.
You didn't remember what was in your book you wrote. But you know what? That happens to me too. Like if I meet with a book club and they'll say something about the storyline, and it'll be like a small detail, like
yeah, always.
What somebody was wearing or something minuscule, and I won't remember that I even wrote that.
Me too.
By the time you write and then edit and then release it and promote it, you just can't remember every detail of all the books.
You can.
Gwen and Dr. Rhonda both, I just remember how honored I was to have been invited to talk about my book with you all. And I haven't been on recently because I've had some illness, but I remember when I first started watching you all during the COVID period, and I would just wait every week for your show to come on, and nothing took the place of watching you all and listening to other authors and listening to your questions of authors and learning, as you all said, just learning from other authors. But I just remember feeling really, really blessed to have that opportunity to talk about my book with an audience like yours. So I'm just really grateful.
Oh, thank
And I
you.
just want to ditto, excuse me, exactly what she just said. It was an honor to be on your show. And it was during COVID, and I am a behavioral health fiction author. So it was really timely for me to be on your show during COVID. One of my greatest memories, there was supposed to be four of us on there, but it actually was only me and someone else. And that actually winds up being pretty good because when we had the awards, which I didn't even know we were going to do, I was very pleased and blessed to have won for health, and I was so happy. So I just want to thank you
Thank
guys for
you.
giving us this venue and this platform to be able to talk about our novels and to talk about what we're doing for our community. So thank you.
Okay, yeah, you did win that first award show, and the awards they weren't planned like from jump. Like when we launched the show, we weren't saying, "Oh, we're gonna do an awards." And no, it was in the midst of it where we were like, "Okay, we've had so many guests. It would be great if we could give them some kind of recognition." And then say, "Okay, we can let people vote." And then it's really just the audience that decides. So and then so we just kept it going with the awards. So it wasn't something that we had planned originally, like actually when we first started the show, we really didn't have any plans. It just
Right.
we didn't. It was just
We had to have something to take the place of the festival because we weren't able to do the festival for 2 years.
right. Right. So we were like, okay, we can have 4 guests. And we kept it at 4 guests. We didn't never change that. Occasionally someone will be a no-show. It happens. And because the show is live, if somebody's a no-show and they don't tell us, like they tell us like the afternoon of, which is really like a pet peeve. If you okay, people out there, if you're going to renege, at least give us 24 hours notice. So, because then it's like, okay, you leave us in a lurch and it's too late to replace the person. And we have to fill in time because it's live. We can talk among ourselves. Me and Rhonda can't talk. So,
And Gwen, I will also say that I was also blessed and honored to be given the opportunity to be on the show among other book support professionals. For me winning, I had no idea I would win. I was just so overwhelmed with winning because I was up against a lot of nice literary influencers. So I was like blown away when I won. So it was great.
yeah, everybody likes recognition.
Yes, we do.
And if it's based
Of course
on
we do.
support, that's what makes it really good. So, Jordan, you've been on several times. I think you've been on every year, at least once every year. And then you did the master class at night for us. And we still didn't have enough time. It was for an hour, but we could have.
They can talk now. I mean, she's got some good information, but she can talk.
Y'all see, I'm working on myself. I'm over here biting my tongue and sitting on my hands like, let everybody else talk. But now that it is my turn to talk, that's really what I want to hit up on, Gwen and Rhonda. The word conversation, when you said what's memorable in the conversation, and then you're hearing it's that common thread, people are saying talk. It is conversation, and it's relevant talk. And not just with the episodes I've been on, but every episode, you're serving and not selling. You shine a light on us and what we do and our books and our businesses, but you're genuinely, authentically serving, not trying to sell a thing. You are exactly who you say you are. And some people can't get 5 minutes past the conversation of who they tell you they are. You see them you behind them in the McDonald's line, and she done forgot to put the fry in the bag. You get to see who they really are. But what I appreciate is that you are who you say you are. You have a platform that is not quicksand, that is not cement, but it is a trampoline to not only catapult us as Black authors, as Black industry experts, but to catapult our messages, our voices, our experiences. Again, 5 years, it doesn't even seem that long. It doesn't even seem that long. And I know this is cliche-ish. And as an editor, I would just mark up any manuscript of any one of my authors tried to say this, but time truly does fly when you are having fun, when you are learning, when you are being educated, equipped, and empowered. Because the quickest and the easiest way for somebody to be rendered powerless is for them to be told that they have no power in the first place.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you empower us. That's what I remember.
Touched on the conversation, because one thing that I really love about our interview style is that we keep it very conversational. There are many people who are interviewed for the very first time when they come on this show. They don't know what to expect. They're already nervous. So one thing I like to do, and I believe Gwen does it too, is we want to make the guests feel comfortable. We want to show that it's about them, but we want to make it conversational so it doesn't feel robotic. So they don't feel like it's an inquisition. And that they can just feel comfortable just talking. But at the same time, I want to guide the conversation so they're able to get their message across. So they're able to talk about who they are and what their book is about, because that's how they're going to want to continue. If they feel shut down or if they feel left out of the conversation, they're just going to sit there and be quiet and just look. But when we keep bringing the conversation, keep telling them how important they are, they're going to want to keep talking, and that may even empower them to do more interviews and to really push their books. And so that's what I value most about this show.
Yeah, a lot of times authors are introverts. They really are not like extroverted people, and so some authors are shy, and you have to really pull it out of them. But other authors talk the whole time until the interview ends. So it just depends. Everybody's different. And so now when you all were on, we didn't have an intro. I don't know if you all saw our intro video. I think it was like the third year when we got our intro video, where it's like the news or any other show, where you have music going in and then you have an outro with music going out. We just did a cold start, like at 7, we just came on. We did that for 2 years. And so, but a friend of mine, well, actually he does all of our video work. He said, you should have an intro for your show. And I said, well, that seems kind of fancy, but what did you have in mind? So he created the video and the music and all of that. And I was like, wow, this is great. So, but it wasn't my idea. But I was open to somebody, and it was a reasonable cost. Some stuff is just a non-starter in terms of money. Some things you just can't do. Some things you can do, some things you can't do. But one thing that's free is respecting people, respecting other people's experiences, their work. That is free. So we respect everybody who comes on our show. Well, we're at the end of this segment, and thank you all so much for joining us for our 5th anniversary. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you all again soon.
Oh, yes.
Either on here or somewhere else.
Thank you. Thank you. And congrats again.
Congratulations again, Gwen.
Thanks again.
Love you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Congrats.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, we're every segment is going to be people who were on the first year, except the final segment. And that will be, well, actually, those people will have been on the first year too, but it's a different group of people. So, it's good to hear other people's reflections on what we do, because a lot of times, you don't know how you're received by people,
Right.
how they feel about it. But and inviting people to come back, they all said yes right away. I mean, immediately. So that was great that they all agreed to join us. And since it was the anniversary show, I didn't want to just have, our regular interviews. So those of you who are watching, if you all will let us know where you're joining us from, this is the 5th anniversary show for Black Authors Matter TV. That's right. We've been online every Tuesday with a few exceptions for 5 years. And who knows how many more we'll do? Maybe it'll be the 10th anniversary. We'll see. We'll keep it going. It's a lot of people writing books. And so who knew that we would be able to interview so many people? And really, it's almost like it's an endless supply. And a lot of people don't know that. So while I bring on the next group, I'm just going to give you all a couple of stats for those who don't know about the show. Besides this being the 5th anniversary, we've had 220 plus episodes over the 5 years, and we've almost interviewed. We're getting close to 800 people in the 5 years that we've had the show. Not 800 interviews, 800 individual people that we've interviewed. We're at 7. I think last count it was 780. So by festival time, we'll be right at 800. So anyway, we have another group of guests that we have on tonight. We have a different mixture. We have a publisher, Julia Royston with BK Royston Publishing. Those who watch the show know who she is. And Julia and BK, they always support the show. Belinda Miller is a bookstore owner, and she was on the show the first year. And I'm assuming she still has a bookstore in South Carolina. Mama Tony Bonita, she watches the show regularly, and she has her own. She goes live herself with books, and you all can see beside her, she's got a stack of books. She's always talking about books herself. Radia Hubbard, I always mispronounce your name, but she does book reviews, and I think she has a book club too. And then Malika Adara, she does it all. She's an author. I think she's still a literary agent. She does some editing. She does a book coaching, and she'll talk about some of the things she's doing. So you all are back on the show. We had people on who were on the first year of the show. And some of you have been on multiple times, like Julia has. But I think everybody else has only been on that one time. Maybe Malika was on a second time for a book. Okay, see, I remember who was on. And Mama Tony watches us almost every week. So
it feels like she's always on the show because she's always watching the show.
Yes. So welcome back, you all, to Black Authors Matter TV. Thank you all for being part of when we launched the show. And as I said in the other half hour, we didn't know we were going to last 5 years. We didn't know where it was going to go. We didn't know what. We just were doing it and just going with the flow, and we kept going. So here we are 5 years later. So I'm going to have each of you all just say a little bit about yourselves, and then we're going to get some feedback about your experience being interviewed on the show previously. So we're going to start with Mama Tony.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's a pleasure. It's a joy to be here. And I get a thrill every Tuesday because I'm going to learn about a new author. I'm going to learn about a new book. I'm going to spend more money. I'm going to have to look for more room to put more books because I'm running out of space. But I enjoy the interviews because something is always said and you learn something new. And it's an ill wind that doesn't learn something new every day. So I look forward to Tuesdays because I know that I'm going to learn something. Maybe from all 4 interviews, maybe from just one, but I'm going to take something away that I didn't have.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Belinda, we're going to do you next. Belinda, and I apologize. I can't remember the name of your bookstore, but it's hard for me to keep all these little nuggets of information in my head all the time. I know it's in South Carolina. So, Belinda, tell us, give us a little bit of update about what you've been doing. Oh, you need to unmute.
You're still muted.
Okay, can you hear me okay now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Turning Page Bookshop is still the only Black-owned brick-and-mortar bookstore in the state of South Carolina. 2 other Black-owned bookstores online, and it's been a struggle since I had my last interview with you, right after COVID. It's still a struggle, still pulling through, but I haven't given up. The website is now amazing. I sell just as many, whatever Amazon have on their website, I got it too.
Okay.
Well, share your website. We're going to put it in the chat right now.
www.turningpagebookshop.com.
Turning Pages or Turning Page?
Turning Page, Page Bookshop.
Got it.
Yeah. So some of our prices may not be as cheap as Amazon, but some of them are cheaper than Amazon. And I have a variety of everything. It's still a struggle. I'm still plugging at it. I'm still working my full-time job. I hope by the end of the year, I will retire, or unless I get kicked out of the federal government, who knows? But
don't say that. We're not speaking that into existence.
Oh, I would not speak that into existence because I tell you, it's something else going on, but still plugging through, not giving up. And luckily for me, I managed to have a lot of vendor events. So that's been a big financial help.
Okay.
I managed to get through a few of the ABA conferences, like they had the one in Denver this year. I was able to get a scholarship for that. So yeah, I'm still hanging in there and I'm not giving up. And once again, Miss Richardson, I still honor you. Because I remember I volunteered at your book festival and I tried to volunteer last year, but funds was a little slow. But thank you for doing this. I truly, truly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, I put the website in the chat.
Thank you.
Support this bookstore. You know, we don't have a lot of Black-owned bookstores in the country, at least not as many as we used to about 10 or 20 years ago. So the ones that are still here, we've got to support them. And no, we can't keep comparing prices to Amazon. Amazon is a huge conglomerate who can afford to slash prices and still make money. And a local bookstore cannot do that and still survive and still put food on the table. So we've got to stop with the price comparisons. Now, I mean, unless you're trying to send your kids to college off of one book set, we're not trying to do that.
No way.
Well, let's support our local bookstores.
Thank you.
They're the ones who are going to put our books on the shelves before the bigger ones do. Mm-hmm. And yes, you can get your book onto Amazon quite easily, but they don't care. As long as they're selling it, they're not pushing it unless you pay them some more money.
You got to be up. They're uploading 5,000 a day. So you're not going to be seen unless you're paying them ads. So 5,000 a day. Yeah, no, you need to be with somebody who knows you and wants to know you and can push.
When you go to a local bookstore like Belinda's bookstore and you go in there and like, I'm just looking for something new to read today. She's going to be the one standing behind the counter saying, well, why don't you try such and such book? Or I just saw this book on this podcast, Authors Matter TV last week, and it looked like a great book. Why don't you try this book? You know, that's what happens when you go to a local bookstore. They're going to give you suggestions that actually align with what you're looking for. They align with your interests. And not everyone does that.
That's true. And we sell a variety of books, Black, white, Native American, and everything. And I want to bring up a point, and maybe you guys will talk about this tonight. My bookstore is about 3 blocks from Barnes and Nobles. Now, for years, during COVID and after, they had a huge selection of African American authors. Now, you have to go and find them. They're not there.
Yeah. A lot of these bookstores, the majority bookstores during COVID, we have to remember COVID and George Floyd were the same year. I mean, that it was all 2020. And so a lot of the bookstores loaded up on Black books right after George Floyd. I always give people who claim to want to do something to reach out. I give them 6 months because normally that's as long as it lasts. And that's pretty much what happens.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, they move on. You know, it's just it's emotional or whatever. But the Black bookstores, your community bookstores, they're not operating that way. They have a long-term objective to promote African American literature. And it's 365. It's not just, you know, a one-off thing.
Correct.
So that's why they're so important. So Malika Adero, you came to the National Black Book Festival, I think the first year we were at Fallbrook Church. And this is our 18th anniversary this year for the festival.
Wow.
So
yeah, I was there 2 or 3 times. The first time was a hotel.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You came when we were at the hotel early on when we first started.
Yeah, I did, and congratulations. And you know, as I said, longevity has its virtues, you know, and we need that kind of consistency, you know, in business and culture. You know, that's what institution building is, you know, is to sustainable over time. So, you know, you're one of our most shining examples.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that. Now, what have you been up to of late?
Well, what I am doing to keep, you know, life and limb together, on the acquisitions editing side, I'd still continue to be an editor for Awua Books, an imprint of Farrar, Straus and Giroux. That's the imprint that Amir Thompson, aka Questlove, founded. We launched in the spring of 2023. And so I'm still there. I function as does the other editor, Ben Greenman, editors at large. So, you know, it works well with me as an independent. As far as my agency, which is Adero's Literary Tribe, LLC, and the website is aderosliterarytribe.com. I continue to edit for publishers and individuals. Like right now, I'm editing a book for actually my old workplace, HG, Simon & Schuster, and coaching someone through their book process. You know, that's another job. But my most exciting current thing, project out of my agency is I'm wearing 2 hats, and I try not to do that, but I am the agent and the co-writer for Marla Gibbs, the actor of Jefferson's fame. And so the book is called It's Never Too Late. It's already up for pre-order on the online sources. You know, I'm glad to meet you, Belinda. You know, anyway, I'm from East Tennessee, so you know, I want to know what city your shop is in South Carolina. So I'm very excited about the Marla Gibbs memoir because we know her and love her so much, but we don't know the half or the third of it. You know what I mean? what got her there, and doing the publisher, Amistad, Abby West at Amistad acquired the book. They're being very creative and very supportive, and I'm gratified. The cover is gorgeous. We did a cover reveal on People magazine a couple of weeks ago, but they're already working on the audio book, which the preface, by the way, is being has been written already by another beloved TV star, and I'll save that for the publisher. I don't like to steal the thunder of the author and the publisher. And then another beloved Black actress reading that audio book. So, anyway, I couldn't so if I get on folks' nerves, with the Marla Gibbs, and it's never too late. But that is the message, which is relevant to us all. It is never too late. She didn't begin her paid acting career until she was 44 years old. She had already raised children. Her daughter, Angela Gibbs, matriculated and earned a degree from Howard University before her mother ever became a household name. So she lived a whole life being born and raised in Detroit and Chicago, uprooted her children in part to get away, start a new life away from a bad marriage. And you'll hear about all that too. So, it's a story that we all can relate to. And then a story for those of us that haven't been, world famous and a household name can be inspired by, So, that's what I'm up to right now. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay.
That is really awesome. I can't wait to read that project. I love Marla Gibbs.
What's the release date on it?
February 24th and February 26th. You'll see it on the postings on the online retailers.
Okay.
I don't want to say the name of one, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's which is also my birthday month. My birthday, by the way, is February 21st, and the pub date's just a few days after. So that was a little God bonus, I guess you'd call it, But I'm very proud of the work that we did. And one of the things that's gratifying about it to me is it's really one of the rare occasions where I can say writing a book as a team was successful. I was a co-writer, so was her daughter, Angela Gibbs. Contributions were made by her grandson, Emil Gibbs, who is a music producer, a musician, and has a full life and career on his own, and Marla Gibbs, who is 94 years old.
Oh, boy.
And active, and made a movie last year called Mildred for a Million, by the way.
Okay.
A short that might not be in the theaters. It's a short, but just, you can Google that and see and follow her. And she's 94 years old with 250,000 followers on Instagram. Okay. So do with that fact as you may, but I feel like I'm like slow in the game,
I think it's so cool that she has been in lots of projects since the Jeffersons.
Yes,
but she's always going to perform. her character was that
iconic. Mary, she's done, we're going to be reminded, but then she's also a jazz singer and owned a legendary jazz club in LA. She's a cultural worker, community development person, Leimert Park in LA. It's really, I'm really gratified, and I couldn't be more proud of this project.
Well, if you can put a bug in somebody's ear, we would love to interview her on Black Authors Matter TV.
Absolutely.
So I will put the request in, and hopefully we can make that happen.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I tell you, the one caveat is she is 94 years old, and it ain't nothing me or Amistad or HarperCollins can make this woman do. If she don't feel like it, so there's going to be a lot of coming to her. But that's the beauty of technology. That's the beauty of technology, you know. So,
Okay, well, we'll keep our
I'll,
fingers.
I'll do it. No, I'll do it. I'll let you know.
Okay. I'm going to be sending you some reminder emails.
Okay.
Okay.
Julia too. She's not going to tour bookstores, you know. But I tell you what, Angela Gibbs, you know, her daughter, who's has a full acting career. She's on this series on streaming, Not Dead Yet, I think it's called.
Okay.
But, you know, she is dynamic and fabulous, and you know, in her own right, and worked for Third World Press as a young person, by the way.
Okay.
We actually had the book publishing, you know, thing in common. She wasn't far into this process. So anyway, I'll put that out there too. You know, it's a wonderful family, and they work together and are very rightfully protective of their mom.
Okay. Well, I understand that. We'll work on it. Oh. So Julia, you go next. Julia Royston.
Well, fortunately, I'm super excited and honored to be here. Congratulations on 5 years. Some people don't last 5 months, and because it takes consistency and it takes work to actually do this. And so congratulations to you, Ms. Gwen, and to you, Dr. Rhonda. Hopefully you're not too jet lagged. We were together this weekend in Indianapolis at the Indiana Black Expo. So that was a wonderful opportunity. So I'm Julia Royston. I own BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. And yes, I have participated in Charleston. I think I was in Charleston, South Carolina with Ms. Valinda, and it was a wonderful experience, a beautiful room. And hopefully I'll get back to South Carolina at one of your events very, very, very soon. But as you know, I've been writing, I've been publishing. I'm super excited, just like Mrs. Darrow. I'm honored and privileged to recently be able to release retired ambassador, U.S. ambassador, Ms. Pamela E. Bridgewater. And she was the ambassador for Ghana and Jamaica. And so that has been taking me way out of my way out of my comfort zone. But it was an awesome experience and wonderful for me, as well as they say, stretched my experience. And I loved every second of it. It took me out of my comfort zone. But this has been a wonderful, Black Authors Matter TV has been a wonderful platform for the authors of BK Royston Publishing and Royal Media and Publishing, being able to be seen. And the last half hour, I heard you, Ms. Gwen, say that most authors are introverts. And the authors from BK Royston Publishing and Royal Media, I've been very selective because I know some of them are really, really struggle. Even though they know their books and they know the answer to the question, they freeze. They don't do well on camera. So this has been a real training ground for new authors, especially, and people who are not accustomed to being online at all. So, and they don't even go live on their own platforms. And that's a conversation for Dr. Rhonda and I for another day. But for another time, another day. But we thank you, and we're very appreciative for the door that's open and the opportunities that we've had at the book festival in Houston. We look forward to being there this year as well. It's always multifaceted. I do get to teach, but I also get to interact. I'm like Mama Tony, I get to interact with new authors. I've been publishing now. It'll be 18 years in February. Mrs. Darrow, that February month is big time for me too. But it's an opportunity for me to pour back in to them as well. You know, I'm one of these people that doesn't do very well gatekeeping. My husband fusses at me all the time. And he says I always tell too much and didn't send an invoice fast enough. But I feel like the good Lord's gonna take care of me. And when I see an author in need, I really, really strive to be able to do that. So teaching, giving back, and yeah, I sell books too, but it's an opportunity for me to meet first-time authors who really are just fish out of water, and they have a fresh book and exciting, and I get excited too as well. But thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, well, we will see you in October, so that'll be great, and we look forward to it. It's coming up quite fast. You know, the festival. This is how the festival is. After it's over, it's like, okay, I'm glad you get to decompress and rest, and then the holidays kick in, because the festival is always right before Thanksgiving. You know, right before November. So then, you know, the holiday season goes by like a flash, and then it's January. So then we kick off our registrations in January, and then it's like, okay, January, February, March, then you have Easter, and then it's summer, and then it's time for the festival again. It's like it's like, oh, it's 3 months from now. So
so if you get started on the next festival as soon as the last one ended, you already done.
Well, I'm already working on some people for 2026, so I don't normally wait. Like for the future people, a lot of them, you have to book them more than a year in advance.
Absolutely.
Because their calendars fill up so quickly. So I've already got some feelers out for next year's festival. I won't name any names because, you never know what's going to happen. And sometimes the people that you think you can get, you can't. And then sometimes there's a surprise. A person that you didn't necessarily know you could get, they say yeah, and some of them will say yes right away. I mean, like quick. I hate going through gatekeepers. So Julia, you said something about gatekeeping. If I can do an end run around and contact the person directly, I try that first, because I can almost always get a yes from the author, from the person. But it's their gatekeepers that give you the runaround, and it just really irritates me. So anyway, we're looking forward to this fall, and we'll be seeing Julia. So we only have a few minutes left. This segment went different than the first one, and so Radia, I think is your name pronounced Radia? I thought it was.
Yes, you pronounced it right.
Thank you for being so patient, and you could have chimed in at any time. But I know you do book reviews, and you also have a book club, I think. Don't you have a book club?
It's book reviews, urbanreviewsonline.com, and then I also have my own Great Midwest Book Fest every June.
Okay. Okay. You have your own event. So
Yeah.
you just recently had yours for this year.
Yeah, I just had it last month. It don't even seem like that now. But yes, I'm already, and yes, you have to already start for next year already. I'm like, my goodness. So I'm already started for that.
I had the pleasure of being interviewed. I think it was 2 years ago. It might have been 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was during the pandemic. When we took everything online because everything that was going on, we had just took it online. Yeah. So yep, it was 2 years? Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago now. See, time just flies.
And I'm glad that you're still doing it. You've been doing it for quite a while. How many years is this for you?
For the Great Midwest Book Fest, this was 17 years. And
That's
so now I'm working on 18 because I'm like, oh my goodness.
I need to come on out to the Midwest. So I need that information so I can put my name in the hat for the next year.
Sure. I can send it to you. Oh, so the name of the book review platform, it is urbanreviewsonline.com, and then it is the Great Midwest Book Fest.com. Okay, I was doing that. Okay, Miss Adero, she just put that in the chat there. And then I would like to tell you guys, congratulations. I didn't even know it was 5 years. I'm like, it's been 5 years. So yeah, this is a very, very good platform, very good show and everything. So yeah, congratulations to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And one of the questions I get a lot from authors is about book reviews. So your organization does those. And just tell us a little bit about the submission process for that.
Okay, so now the submission process, what it is that I always ask people to send like the first chapter, the first whole chapter of the book, because I'm not the only person that does reviews. But what I do is I go ahead and I'll read the first chapter. If it's something that I don't think is I was like, okay, if it's not my cup of tea, I'll go ahead and I'll ask my other reviewers, like, okay, who wants to review this? Or if it's like like if it's a series, I'll ask people like, okay, give me the first book in the series. Like if it's a series that's connected, if it's not, like some books you can read without reading the first one, or just let me know, like, can this be a standalone and things of that nature. And then, so that's the book review submission process. They can either submit it online. I mean, they can either submit a physical book or ebooks. We've gotten a lot of ebooks lately, like a lot of them, especially since the pandemic, even from the like major publishers and everything. So now I try to not accept everything on NetGalley myself, because I have like reviewers, and I was like, okay, excuse me, but who's on NetGalley? And I'll say, did you accept this? Did you accept this? Okay, I won't accept it. Did you accept this or accept this? So I was like, no, let me not accept everything, because I can't review everything. But yes, we have a lot of so it can be ebooks, it can be printed books. But yes, actually ebooks are still, I like ebooks too, but I still like physical books for some reason. Like I still like holding them. I still like smelling them. I still do. Although I do read a lot of ebooks too now, but I still do like physical books. And I just be so excited when I get a physical book. So, but yes, it's just good to see that, that Black Authors Matter TV is still around and everything, because we really need these spaces now, especially now. So congratulations to you ladies. And I am happy to be here too.
Okay, well, you know what? That's the end of this segment. We just we're bumping up into the other one. So the next group to come on. But thank you all so much for supporting the show, for being guests on the show, and for celebrating our 5th anniversary with us.
Yeah. Thank you for everything that you're doing in the industry. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. It's really needed. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great night.
Bye.
Now we're going to bring on the next group, but I do want to, for those who might be, because every now and then you get somebody who will say something. And for those who are wondering, well, where are the male guests that could be on tonight? We did reach out to male guests, but the ones who responded are the ones that are on. That's what happens. So it's about responding, So anyway, I just want to clarify that if anybody has any kind of questions, because sometimes things do come up and people are concerned or whatever. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. So anyway, we have our next group of guests that had joined the show in year 1. And this is a different group. They're authors, but they also serve other roles or have other identities. So
Afro.
We have with us, and I think we
looking
have,
like your head is on fire.
We have one other person that may join us. She hasn't logged on yet, but we have Larissa Bates, Letitia Lovely, and Marissa Pointer. But Marissa's name was Marissa Monte, or the name she wrote under. So yeah. I don't know if she married a Pointer or she just changed her name. So anyway, in fact, all these 3 of these women played multiple roles. They have some kind of dual role. So anyway, thank you all for returning to the show for our 5th anniversary.
Oh, so great to be here. So great to be here tonight.
Yes, so proud.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And
Thank
so I'm going to start with Marissa because she had a name change. And so inquiring minds want to know, is this like a pseudonym or is this your married name? Is it your divorce name? You know, when it doesn't work out, you go back to the other name. So that's what I did. On the first one, I went back to my maiden name. I didn't want any kind of connection. So anyway.
Yes, yes. Yes, well, that's a good question.
Okay.
I kept the name Monte for years. And then when I started writing in 98, I just kept Monte going. So as far as my writing career, it was Monte, but at some point it was Pointer. And then when I retired, I said, I think it's time. So a lot of my communication on social media now is under Pointer. So that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So you've totally retired from writing, are you? Or have you?
No. Well, I have. I have retired in 2017. I went on a tour and retired. My last book was 2016, and I'm coming back. I'm coming back. So I've written a novel.
Okay.
Hey, Letitia. I've written a novel, and I've got it out there. And it's a series. It's Grace, Hope, and Mercy, and it's more of an inspirational, but it's girlfriend fiction, it's women's fiction, it's all of that, but it's a lot different from what I wrote before. And so that's where I am now. It's called Grace, Hope, and Mercy. So I'm really, really proud of that. So thank you for asking.
Okay. So did you have a representation yet? Are you having it shopped around or?
I'm working on that. I had an agent for 16 years, and what I'm doing is submitting it myself. And so I might decide to get a new agent, but I do have a pitch, and I'm holding on to that. I'm not rushing it at all. And there's a part 2, which is Faith, Joy, and Miracle. So it's going to be a series. So I'm just really proud because I stopped writing for a while, and writing to me was like a boyfriend. This boyfriend kept going, come on back, come on back. You know you want to write. I think I posted on Facebook a year after I retired. I said, someone asked me if I miss writing, and I said no. And everybody else was like, I heard that. Well, something happened in between there, and it's my gift. I've done a lot of things since then: home staging, acting. Tried to open a cookie company, didn't want to do that. Did customer service and all that. But writing is my gift. It is my passion. And I'm born to do that. And so that's what I'm going to continue doing. So I really appreciate you. And I just want to say to you, you have had me on your show when I was retired. I'm retired now, officially, sort of, and you still have asked me on. And I am so honored for that. You did not forget me. And I had to look up what matters means. It means being of importance and having significance. Both of you, Rhonda, Gwen, you have significance, you love what you do, and you share that love with others. So I have not felt forgotten. Tonight I'm here, and I'm really, really thankful, and I'm proud of you for all of the show. You know, I've been on a couple shows out with Cyrus Webb and Michael Taylor and Ivy Lee, and then I was nominated after that, and we all won. We all won by that. So I'm just truly, truly proud of you. I appreciate you so much. And both of you, you work hard. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy, but I'm proud of you.
Thank you for saying that. You know, it always feels good when, you know, we're pouring into people and then they pour right back into us. So we appreciate those words. I did want to let you know, though, that you were never forgotten. I don't know if you saw the comment that Tony Bonita left. Mama, she said that you had them in tears at the National Book Club conference when you announced that you were retiring. Nobody wanted to see you go. That's how much you're loved in this industry.
Tony's amazing. Thank you for telling me that. That was a tough thing. My family was there. My kids were there. The room was full, and I just knew that that was it. And there's some reasons why, you know, it was a little. Some of the genres were okay for a while, but after 20 years, I'm a changed person. We all evolve, and so to have told everyone in that room, I'm done. And then to realize that, you know, 10 years later, almost 10 years later, I started writing a book in 22 and finished it early this year. So I stopped and started, but every time I went to church, God kept telling me, write that book. My pastor said, write that book, write that book. And I did it. So I'm going to have to go back and reintroduce myself at conferences and things like that. But I'm full, and I'm grateful to be amongst the authors that I've seen. You guys are doing such a great job. So thank you for the love that you have for what you do. And I see you traveling and you're busy the whole bit, but you still do it for the love. So that's what matters. That matters too. That love and commitment that we all have.
Yeah, Rhonda and I started traveling together last year with the show. And, you know, we take our books. We have a line of literary themed t-shirts our company does. So we take all that out there on the road, talk about the show. So next week we'll be at the National Book Club Conference.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be there too. I'll see you.
Okay. So we'll see you there. Okay, this will be both of our first time there. I always miss the
deadline. I always want to go, and I always wind up looking for it, and then the deadline is passed.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's great.
Exactly.
That's so great. I get to see you guys.
Yeah.
This is my first time attending. I did a tribute a few years ago when Eric Jerome Dickey passed, so I was there for that. But I'm going to be there for the entire weekend and just absorb it as a reader and support other authors. So it'll be great to see you both. I got big hugs coming for both of you.
Okay. Yeah, this you know what happened was right after our festival last year, I said, you know what? I need to find out when the deadline is for the book club conference. So right after our festival, I reached out to Curtis and he said, well, if you want to have a vendor table, I only have 5 left. This was like early November. So I said, okay, one of them is mine. Just to go ahead. I went ahead and put the deposit down right then, like the same day.
Good for you.
So that was how we got in this year. Now that I know when I need to do it, then I know, you know, it's not every
it does sell out fast, but it's family. It feels like family.
It's the same, like he has a max number, and it's the same. A lot of the book clubs go every single year. So, you know, and so they sign up right away, like before the existing one is over. And that's how it ends up filling up so fast. But Larissa, we're going to do you next. You an author. I don't know if you are still writing books, but you're also in the television industry as producer, executive producer, whatever. I don't know your title. But anyway, are you still writing, and have you been since we saw
you? You know what? It has been a whirlwind since COVID, and I just want to also, thank you and Dr. Rhonda, who, you guys have been great. Like, I think it's such a great program to have, and especially, first time authors, right? Like, so my first book actually that I came on and we talked about, which was great, Bonita Renee Jenkins. I did have a second one and I'm supposed to be working on the third one, but it's still here, so I haven't had a chance to put it on paper yet. But it's a series and it's a fun ride. But that's basically my passion is writing, but I write more scripts. And so I used to work as an executive for BT Networks, but I left and started my own company, Batesville Media. So I'm responsible for creating content. I want to create content that is going to appeal to different audiences, but writing and producing, and also executive producing. So that means that there's some new filmmakers that I might actually invest in. So it all depends what mood I'm in and what project moves me, I should say, because it's all about the emotion. And so, but I love writing, and I just think that, one of the things I have not done is, and this is what a lot of people are saying, is that, people know me as an executive, but they don't know me really know me as an author. And so your platform really helped me to at least establish that. And I, attended some of the book clubs, but, I've got a bunch of books that, are sitting here and people are like, well, what are you going to do with them? I'm like, I got to find that moment to focus on that. But it's been it's been really difficult to be able to focus on my book writing because, writing a script, I can turn a script around in, 2 or 3 months. But a book, you really got to focus on. And so I think the second book, I think that I really pushed myself, probably took about 6 months from start to finish. And I was like, it's a lot, especially with a full-time job. But I love writing, and as Marissa said, it's like, when you have to acknowledge God's gift. Not everyone can do that. I think everyone has a story, but it's like, what's your superpower? And so, but I think my superpower is more in the development, because that's my background, developing content. So that is probably more what I weigh on. But I have tons and tons of stories. If I could clone myself and make about 10 of them, I would have so many books done. But I admire people who can turn around a book, turn around a whole series, keep it moving. And, that's like my story. That's my story. So it's just, but I can't thank you enough because, you guys you've been doing this for a long time and you've seen so many writers come through and being supportive. And like you said, you pour out to people and they pour back. So when you called me, I was like, I'm with Marissa. I'm like, wow, she remembered me. Man, like it was just great to be able to be a part of the community. So.
It's really interesting that you say for you that writing a script is easier than writing a book. And I would think it's the other way around, because with a book, I can spend a number of pages describing a scene or just really delving into emotion. And with a script, you have to be able to do that right away because you only have at least 90 pages to tell a story, to evoke emotion, to describe a scene. And I'm like, for me, that seems like the hard thing because you have to be so much more succinct. So it's interesting that I guess we see two things or one thing 2 different ways.
Right. I think that one of the most fascinating is when you adapt a book into a movie or a series, because there's so much information in the book and you have to pick and choose what you can use to tell the story. And like you said, to still be able to bring that emotion there and still be able to tell the story. So that's where I think you dig in. Like I remember one of the projects that we did at UT was adapted from a book. And as she was telling the story, which is a fantastic book, there was not a whole lot with the mother because it was basically about those twins, and they were in the church, heavily in the church. But I said, where's the mom? Because, when you're talking about 60, 70% of the audience are women, and you don't really talk about the mother that's raising these kids and who's the favorite. Who's the favorite? Like, the father has a favorite and the mother has a favorite. So what we ended up doing was we actually ended up creating or expanding the mother's role in the movie. even though it wasn't really in the book. We inferred it in the book, but that's one of the areas that we had to really work on. So it's just really, it's a really fascinating exercise, I should say, as you're going through it. But it's great, like that, and there's so many great stories that's out there.
Yes.
So
You are responsible for me writing my one and only treatment that I ever wrote. It didn't get to the next level, but I did write a treatment, and so now I know what the process is. I actually got the Scriptwriter's Bible. It's a book called the Scriptwriter's Bible, and that's what I use for the guidelines. So I may try to tweak it because since then I had one book. Well, the one novel. I have multiple books, but only 2 fiction. So that book was the first installment, and since then I've written the sequel. So I may try it again. So anyway, you're when you came on the show and you talked about what you did, and I said, oh, let me see, because I'll try things once at least and see what happens.
But the wonderful part is that, like I'll give you an example. I have a friend who pitched an idea 4 years ago to many networks, and all of a sudden it became hot again. So now he's working on a Christmas movie. It was pitched as a series and just set on somebody's show.
Okay.
The studio for 4 years. And then someone saw it and said, hey, is it still available? You want to turn it into a movie. So even though that you're one and only, it just, it might have just been timing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It could be anything. So Letitia, you write under another name. I don't know. Are you able to say the other name, or is it still like, are you incognito still with your pseudonym?
No, first of all, thank you for inviting me. Secondly, I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Wonderful. We have been having storms here in the Midwest, crazy storms, and the internet in my entire area is out. So I'm at the local Starbucks. Of course, that's where we go, where internet is always available. And yes, for the first, I would say 10 years at least of the existence of my alter ego, Zuri Day, she was a secret. And there probably are readers even to this day who do not know that Zuri Day is the alter ego of Letitia Lovely. But I decided around the pandemic, around 2020, I decided to come out and let people know, those who didn't know, that Letitia Lovely is also or that Zuri Day is also the alter ego of Letitia Lovely. Yes.
That was a fun show, by the way.
Because you were on twice as each person.
Yeah.
And the second time you had on like a cap, I think, and almost like, like you were in witness protection.
Well, it's interesting because my background is actually, I came from the acting and theatrical world. And I actually started in script writing and theater and all of that. I had no plans at all to write a book ever. I wasn't even thinking about it. And I was in church one day and I got this idea. I was looking at somebody. I'll probably mention the church at some point because thankfully we're in the age where back in the day, and this is why I started the alter ego, because back in the day, what I was writing was considered very controversial. I was putting sex on one page, scripture on the other, and that was like, what in the world? I had people praying for me, throwing holy oil in my direction, sending prayer cloths, sending me to hell, sending my name to prophets and men. I mean, I had it all. And so I started, or actually my editor suggested that I write in another genre because she was afraid that my career would be over before it began. Because the first two books, she was just like, this is back in 2006, 2007. So she's like, I don't know if the world is ready for Sex in the Sanctuary, which was my first title. I don't know if they're ready for Sex in the Sanctuary the way I was writing it, which was the way Spirit told me to write it, by the way. And so she said, can you write romance? And, not knowing anything about genres and different writings, I, innocently and naively said, oh yeah, no problem. Not understanding that there was a whole learning curve to writing in that genre. And then the idea of Zuri came about because literally so many people did not like Lutetia Lovely. And I mean, I was stepping all on their sacred cows. I was knocking them over and I was just putting all kind of business in the street that I knew personally. And I changed the names to protect the guilty. And, but a lot of those people that I was talking about, they're in the news today. So, it's like, won't he do it? So, but anyway, and because I come from an acting background, I thought, I'll just come up with this alter ego, Zuri Day. And I came up with her whole background, that she's Caribbean, that she's kind of diva-ish. That's why she always had her shades on. She was always just a little aloof, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing that not considering that this was something I'd have to keep up forever. After 15 years just about, it was like, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and pull the curtain back and let people know what's going on. But in the end, I'm very, very grateful because Zuri Day did create a whole different stream of income, a whole different reader base, and a whole different genre for me to tap into. So, and she is still, she's the gift that keeps on giving. Shout out to Harlequin, who I'm still with under Zuri Day, with Zuri Day. So I'm very, very grateful. But yes, Gwen, now, and still, there's probably still people who don't know. But yes, I've come out, and now I will admit that that Lutetia Lovely and Zuri Day are the same person.
Good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people writing under different pen names in different genres and some have more than two. So
I did too. I had Cameron King. I wrote 3 contemporary suspense novels under Cameron King because the publishing industry thought that perhaps a more ethnic neutral persona would help the crossover process. Publishing is a business. So there's all kinds of things that go into why people are doing what they're doing. So, but I appreciate that now more than back when I came into the game. Readers are open to writers who write in multiple genres. When I came out, when Marissa, back in the day, it's almost like if you wrote in one genre, people expected that genre. And if you switched over to something else, they were like, wait a minute, what? This isn't what she writes. And again, that was kind of a pigeonholed approach, it turns out. But it also had its benefits, like being able to have multiple streams of income, being able to have a success in one area under one name. Maybe if something didn't work out under another name, you still had an avenue to succeed in. However, I do like that these days readers are more open to, if they like your writing style, if they know that you're going to bring a quality product, they're willing to read it under whatever name you present it under.
Right, or genre, because now authors are switching genres, which they really weren't doing as much back when I got in the book industry, which was over 25 years when we opened our store. So that was, people, I think self-publishing changed a lot of that because authors can really make their own choices if they decide they want to do that now. They can go hybrid. But back then, you couldn't, if you were self-published, it was like taboo almost. And people didn't, their goal was to get a book deal. That was everybody's goal. And now it's not necessarily the goal. You know, a lot of people are doing very well self-publishing, and some of them don't even do physical books. They just produce an ebook, and it might, every 3 months they might have a new one. They just,
there are a lot of people who are doing ebook only options right now.
yeah. A lot of people doing
The
that.
publishing industry has changed completely from the time that I was in it. I mean, absolutely flipped on its head. And in some ways, it's been a very good thing, offering more opportunities for people not to have to go through the big five or, you know, things like that. But on the other hand, it's also presented a lot of challenges and has kind of watered down the quality as well, because anybody with an internet connection and 20 pages can upload that and call it a book and put put nationally best-selling author on the cover and then there you are, you know what I mean? So it has its everything has
they charge you $25 for.
Excuse me?
Charge $25.
Right.
They charging $25 for.
Right. I mean, and yeah, don't get me started because it's changed, but there's pros and cons to everything. And I tend to just look at I tend to focus on the positive and keep it moving in that direction, find out how I can get in where I fit in, where that is, and you know, let it ride.
Yeah, what I say is that now everybody, just about anybody, can publish a book, but some people really shouldn't.
That is true.
Should never see the light of day. They really aren't books.
Exactly.
Larissa said something that was very key. Everyone has a story, and that is so true, Larissa. But not everyone should write their own story.
Absolutely.
There are people that should tell their story to someone who can really deliver it in the best light and the best way possible.
Right. That's why ghostwriters have so much success.
Correct. Correct. And that's why we're here.
Yes, we are. Based on industry standards. You know, if you're going to write a book, it's really helpful to actually read a book. That's what I tell people. You can't write a book if you never read books. You can't. You're going to self-publish and you never read a book. Oh, really? Just don't do it. Anyway, we're at the end of this segment, and you all, we're so happy to see you all back.
Oh, great.
So proud of you.
And successful. And Letitia / Zuri, letting everyone know who you are.
Yes, Letitia Lovely / Zuri Day is in the building. However, Zuri will still show up at special events, and she will not know who Letitia is, and you know, vice versa. So we'll still have fun with her, but we definitely are not keeping that a secret anymore. We can,
Did you go out and wear a mask? Did you wear a mask? Did Zuri wear a mask?
No, I didn't wear a mask, but Zuri always wore sunglasses. And because she's from Jamaica, she was totally different. There were people who literally, I would go to a conference. In fact, real quick, funny story. I was on a cruise one time, and it was a reader cruise. And I walked up as Letitia and heard a reader say, I don't really like that Letitia Lovely, but I love me some Zuri Day. And so later, and I found out later it was because she had some real issues with church and, you know, some real things that happened to her. So it wasn't me that she disliked, but it was kind of too close to home what I was writing about. But then later, Zuri came out, and Zuri, she is diva. She's the sunglasses, she's big hair, she's just a different energy. And people would be like, Zuri. I'm thinking, now wait a minute, I just came in there yesterday and I got a nice reception, but I didn't get all of this excitement. And it was, after a while, it's like, wait a minute, am I jealous of my alter ego? What's going on here?
At acting abilities. That's what.
Absolutely. Well, that's where I started. So
yeah. That's what
exactly. But thank you so much. This has been so wonderful, Gwen. And you've been in this game for so long. And like Marissa, it feels good to be seen and remembered and appreciated. So thank you, and Dr. Rhonda, for all that you do, all that you've been doing. And I just wanted to put that out there that you are appreciated.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, and continued success to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Well, in our last segment, we're going to be bringing on, these people were on the show, but they also are managers. They're part of the team at the festival. And if you all have been looking at our social media, something that we are doing differently this year than we've done in the past is we've put the management team out there to welcome everybody to the event, as well as every author who signs up gets their own flyer and their moment in the sun. So we want people to know the people who are behind the effort that we do every year in October, but also these young ladies are they're managers at the festival. They're also the judges. I might be getting them in trouble. The judges for the Children's Book Awards. And they're my traveling author troupe. We go places together. We're going to be in Austin for the Texas Book Festival in November. To all of us to be together, as well as Rhonda, both Rhondas, Rhonda Lawson and Rhonda Garcia are going to be with us. It's going to be 7 of us this year, and we're excited about that. So they are on to help us celebrate our 5th anniversary. And welcome to my friends and my cohorts in the industry, and just all things related to books. So thank you all for sharing this moment with us, and including Bonnie. Bonnie is every year Bonnie does the seminar at the festival called Bringing Out the Book in You for aspiring authors, and she's been doing that every year. And even when we did it virtually, Bonnie was there virtually when we had to do it virtually during COVID. So she's been part of the team for that. And then she'll fill in and do intros of the featured authors. And Rhonda does it too. Rhonda Garcia does the intros. Rhonda Lawson does the interviews. And sometimes Bonnie and Rhonda Garcia switch off. So Shalita, Pam, and Mary, they are managers. They organize the Children's Festival, which is a huge success. It's free for kids on that Saturday morning. So they put a lot of teamwork into that. And I don't do anything except order the balloons and get some of the door prizes. They manage all of it. So thank you all for sharing the evening with us at our final segment of our 5th anniversary show. We really appreciate you being here. And we're going to go around and let everybody have, just tell a little bit about when you first were on the show and just your experiences, what you're doing now. That's what everybody's been doing since, because I think all of you all were on the show the first year of the show. I think all of you all were. So Rhonda, go first. Rhonda Garcia. You go first. Huh? You knew who I was talking about.
Yes. I'm so excited to be here. Congratulations on this wonderful anniversary. I was on the show when my horror short story collection came out. So I was really, really happy to not only be able to talk with, women that I've been working with for years and years, but also to talk about horror and women in horror and how, a big a part that Black women actually have played in the horror genre, and in real life horror, unfortunately. So that was the first time that I was on the show, and I was really happy to have that platform that we Black horror writers don't always get. So I thank you for that.
Well, since then you had introduced me to several horror authors, and they've been on the show. So we've had more in that genre. And also, I think we have 3 horror authors this year at the festival so far, including you. So normally you're the only one.
Right.
But this year we have 3 already registered. So
excellent. Oh, I love it.
Good company this time, Rhonda.
Yes, I love it. This is what we do. But this is a platform that's really necessary. I mean, for all of us Black writers, but I very specifically am grateful to you all for helping to be a platform for us Black horror writers, because we often get neglected in mainstream media. So this is great.
Yeah, the success of Sinners might help a little bit. I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah, I hope so.
But I've heard Pam, who I'll go to next. Pam, I told Pam I'm not gonna see it on the big screen because I'm too scary. So maybe it's streaming. I might watch it. Maybe I'm gonna have to make sure my husband's awake if I'm watching it, so he can give me some moral support. So Pam, just give us an update on what you've been doing and just your involvement since you were on the first year of the show.
Oh, well, from the first time up until now, written a couple of more books than what I had the first time around. Not as many as I would like to have, but I was also working my day job, and now that I'm retired, now I can devote more time to writing and getting more books done. So because I have so many in me and so many that's already drafted up, I just need to finish those projects and birth those babies. I've also, since retirement, been able to devote a little more time to my acting. So that's been a wonderful thing as well. And so in addition to being able to have more time for book business with you ladies, because that's always a pleasure and always a joy, when we do anything related to the book festival, the book contest, and the children's fest, and all of that. So, yeah.
Okay.
And let me say, happy 5th anniversary. I'm so happy for you and excited, and Rhonda, all that you all do for the literary community. Kudos to you all. Just amazing, amazing work. And I know it's not easy because I see the behind the scenes on a lot of things. So I know it's not easy. It's a lot of work, and you have to have passion and you have to have a love for it to be able to do what you all do. But we love you and we appreciate you. And I'm sure all of the many hundreds of authors that you have interviewed and that come to the National Black Book Festival every year, they love you too and they appreciate you all.
Well, it is a labor of love and it's necessary. There's not
absolutely
a lot in this area that's that's the major for Black authors in terms of the festival, because we went to a festival in Austin in June. Was it June? Yeah, I won't name it because it was really, it's like the person who put it together forgot to invite the public. It's like in this I don't know if I never have seen anything quite like it in terms of just no participation from the public. I mean, just not so. But we do things together, which at least cuts our costs because we always cost share, and so that's something positive that I can say. And then there were a few people there that are coming to the National Black Book Festival. There were a few of the authors that were there that were coming. So anyway, Shalita, you want to go next?
Okay, good afternoon and good evening to everyone. Yes, it's been a very busy season since the first show. I've written some more books for sure. I also have been working both in my writing as well as professionally. I received my doctorate, so that was a great joy for me. And then I've been doing work both in several different in my career field. I've written some things for children to talk about African American women and breast cancer screening. I've also done some national presentations as well on the subject, as well as health advocacy. So very broad. I have multi-generational writing that I actually do. And so I've been very excited about that. I'm working on a couple of projects as we speak. So more to come on that. And I believe starting around, and I think you do a couple of different shows. So I was on one of the first shows. So I was a part of the judging. So that was amazing. I made it, all the way to the end. So that was very, very nice for me. And I really appreciated that. But just continuing to be there to inspire the generations, inspire our children, our families, give them a word from the Lord. And so that's my field. That's where I go. And that's what I love to do. So congratulations to you, Gwen. It's an honor to be able to work with you and all these amazing, phenomenal women that we have the opportunity. I don't want to take that for granted. I'm so very thankful to be able to do that. So thank you for everything you do for us. And for those that don't know, she made us her managers, whether we were we were voluntold.
Well, I can see the gifts that people have. I have like a sixth sense, and I can see the gifts that people have. And I know when I give them an assignment, it's something that they have passion for because I can see their gifts. So, and I had total confidence in you all, 100%. So, and I don't throw out the confidence. I don't just say I have confidence in people. I don't generally have confidence in people, but you all are exceptional and so appreciated. So Bonnie, you want to go next? Bonnie Hopkins is a multi-published author, and she does the Aspiring Authors Seminar every year at the festival.
Hello, everyone. I am so happy to be here with you all. And thank you so much for inviting me, Gwen. It's good to see all of my friends again. And since I was on your show the first time or the last time, I've been doing a little bit of writing, not as much as I should have been doing. I have several projects started, trying to finish one, put the others down and finish one. I keep telling myself is the wise way to do it, but of course I don't always follow that advice, that self-advice. But I have started several projects, and I want to thank you, Gwen, and all of the other ladies for just the opportunity to work with you and to read your works. So I am retired, but I do spend a lot of time encouraging others because that is my gift. And if you've read my books, you know that's what I do in my stories. I like to encourage others. And it might not necessarily be in writing, but whatever you do, I just believe that a call to any kind of project is a call to just be prepared and to practice it and to use it as a encouragement and inspiration and a gift to others. So that's what I've been doing mostly while I should have been writing in a lot of instances. So thank you so much, Gwen. I just like to say that your program, you and Rhonda's both, are just so needed, because I've always liked to read. And when I was started reading in my earlier years, there weren't a lot of books by African Americans. And so it forced me to read books by other cultures. And so I just thank you for introducing us to books written by African Americans, because in a lot of cases, we wouldn't even know those authors or their books. So I'm just so thankful to you for that, and for the opportunity to introduce my books to your audience. So thank you so much for that, Gwen.
Okay, well, you're welcome. And as you all know, Bonnie referred to being available to be called on. And as you all know, I will call on you if there's something that needs to be. It could be like a few minutes before I've had to do, because I have total confidence that everything will be fine. I don't even give it a second thought. And so, but sometimes things happen. Somebody doesn't show up, or somebody's late, or just somebody couldn't come for, valid reason or whatever. I know that if I call on any of you all, that it will be done, and it will be done with excellence. I won't have to think about it. It would be like I did it myself. And really, that's strong confidence, because I have a high standard for myself. So I appreciate you all for that. So last but not least, we're going to have Mary. Mary is our resident social media guru, and she's always telling me that I need to do 5 different things and be on 5 different platforms. I tell her I'm not going to do all that, but I do want to know about it, but I can't adequately pursue all of that. But Mary knows all of it. She's on top of it. And she does a seminar at the festival to help authors stay on top of it, because a lot of authors don't know how to manage social media. And for better or worse, social media is where the eyeballs are, is where people get their information now, and where they find out about things. And it's just the world we're in. So you can't put your head in the sand and say, well, I'm going to not participate, because you'll miss out on opportunities. Let me say that. So Mary, give us a rundown about what you've been doing, and your involvement with the show and everything, and the festival and everything.
We've done so much. Thank you, Gwen. And we've done a lot.
We have.
Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Dr. Rhonda. The sisterhood, I have to say sisterhood, just because we've come together, we've grown together, we've taught each other, we've learned so much. I remember when you sent the email out and you said, you know what, when COVID hit, you said, I think we're going to do a Zoom, and it's going to be about Black authors. And I thought it was cool, but didn't understand the profundity of it. And here 5 years later, I'm just amazed how diligent, Gwen, you've been in promoting authors all over the state of Texas, the nation, and then the world. And not just authors, but supporters of Black literacy. The book clubs, the interviews, I just love those, because I don't move around, but just knowing that someone says, you know what, not only do I want to promote it, I want to be able to give the public the opportunity to see Black excellence in a literary form. Some of the things that I did really from the inception of when I was on there was help other authors. As Gwen said, behind the scenes, everyone was going on Zoom, and we were trying to keep the communication line open during COVID. So reached out to a lot of different authors, helped them with Zoom backgrounds. The background that you and Rhonda are behind, I actually created that. So I still do that for those who need it. And I was able to just use some of the social media skills that I've obtained just helping authors behind the scenes. And so haven't written as much. Actually, I have stuff written. Now that I have my little assistant, it's called ChatGPT. I'm getting more organized with the research that I need to do to get my poetry book put out. Also, another version of not necessarily Thunder and Lightning, but trying to be able to get that self-published away from the book publishing company that I use. Just a lot of different things. Working with the ladies with the Children's Book Festival within the festival at the National Black Book Festival, say that fast 3 times, has been a joy, giving children's authors an opportunity to engage and to share their work. It's just really been a blessing. And then, of course, us traveling around from different festivals, networking, that's been a big thing that's been a blessing, I think, for all of us. Just learning about how we can work together, because there's strength in numbers, and being an author can be so isolating and so lonely because you got to sit down and do the writing. But when we get together and we show up at events and we network and we share ideas, that's just been the biggest blessing. So just look forward to coming together in October and November and whenever we do, to share our work with others and to just continue to grow the literary industry from a Black perspective. So thank you so much, Gwen, and thank you, ladies, for just letting me tag along in all this greatness. You're on mute. Okay. Can't hear you, Gwen.
Gwen, I don't know what's going on. You're not on mute, but we can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all?
Now we can't.
Now.
The microphone sounds a little far away.
Oh, it's right here.
It's faint.
Yeah. She said, but it's right here.
Maybe I need to listen to it. Can you hear me now? Can you all hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. It's still faint, but we can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Anyway, when we go out, I like that people they seem to be kind of awestruck that we're all working together. It'll be like 5 or 6 or 7 of us all working together in one place. People seem surprised and also excited. So I like that. And for Rhonda Lawson, I did tell you that I'm working on a book. It's not going to be ready when I thought. But I'm still working on it. I want to let you know that, because Rhonda's going to do some editing for me. And I am working on it. It's just not going to be ready when I was hoping. I'm still working.
Well,
so
I've established a very aggressive goal for myself. I'm going to unveil my holiday novella at the National Black Book Festival.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, the book festival is my target when I release all of my books.
Yeah.
All of my books get released at the book festival. So that means they have to be done by August so I can get them edited and printed by then. So it's not going to be for this year. So it'll be for next year, but I am working on it, and it's a great topic. It'll be one of those, show-stopping topics, and hopefully that my research and my writing will do the topic justice, because it's a great topic. So anyway, we're at the end of our time, and I just want to thank you all for being part of everything that we're doing. I also want to thank our audience that watches us. Some watches every week, some watches occasionally, but whenever you're able to tune in, or if you just watch the playback, we appreciate you. Rhonda and I will continue to bring you the very best in African American literature, and we're taking it on the road. We just started that last year, and we're going to keep that going. We get to meet the people, and some of us say, I listen to your show, and that's great. So anyway, we will be in Atlanta. Well, we'll have another show before then, but we'll be in Atlanta July 31st through August 2nd at the National Book Club Conference. Rhonda and I'll be there. So if you're going there, we will see you there. And Other than that, this is the last episode of the show that we're going to have. Oh, this is the last one for July. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Anyway, we're signing off for tonight. Sometimes, you get a brain freeze. And that's the thing about live. Anything can happen. So I'm going to be signing off. I'm Gwen Richardson saying good night. We'll see you next Tuesday.
And I'm Dr. Rhonda Lawson. Have a wonderful evening and a great week.
Thank you for tuning in, and join us next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for another edition of Black Authors Matter TV.